That's what we're here for. Having a good time.
Welcome back to the One Table podcast, where we have honest conversations about unity, justice, and reconciliation in the multi-ethnic church. I'm Jen Cook, joined by my co-host, Gary Chalk.
Hello, peoples.
And Tquan Moore.
I'm here too.
I'm so excited to be here. Good Lord.
Well, today we're really excited, even though Tquan doesn't sound like it, because
I promise.
this episode is one we've been looking forward to for a really long time. So today on One Table, we are unpacking the power of multi-ethnic worship. Worship does more than just fill a Sunday service. It is a formative experience that shapes our identity and it builds belonging. It sends a loud message about who is welcome and who is missing. But when worship embraces the full diversity of God's people, a powerful shift takes place and the church begins to mirror the kingdom.
Come on now.
So Jen, Gary, Tquan, Gary, and I are thrilled. I like to speak about myself in the third person, just randomly.
It happens. It happens.
We are welcoming a really special guest to guide us through this topic. Nic Dunbar, worship pastor at the Hills Church.
Yes.
Nick, it's so good to have you.
My brother.
Appreciate you. She said special guest. I was like, who?
Looking around. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm Nic Dunbar. Nicholas Dunbar is the government name. From Augusta, Georgia. Grew up out there. Went to college in Texas. Did a little traveling and touring. Quit the road. Got married. Jumped into Christian ministry and been doing pastoral ministry and worship ministry for 20 years. 20 years last week, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that milestone. I didn't realize that.
Well, it's because black don't crack.
It don't crack at all. I know. Tquan sitting over there. He 83 years old.
You don't know, brother. See? You go back in there. Maybe that's why I was sad to sound like I was here.
Gary is really focused on age this morning. You notice. You need to take that to the Lord. Okay?
I'm going to give it away. Give that idol away. Take it from me.
Well, we're really glad you're here, Nick.
Glad to have you.
We're going to have fun today.
Oh,
We always do.
We always have.
We do. For real.
So let's begin with big picture and then we'll go more specific. So theological foundation. In Revelation 7:9,
Oh, yeah.
it says, "After this, I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and in front of the Lamb. They were wearing white robes and were holding palm branches in their hands." So this gives us a vision of worship that is really breathtaking. Every nation, tribe, people, and language gathered before the throne. That's not just diversity, that's unity in worship, there's a difference. So Nick, let's start with you. When you think about this scripture, how does that shape your understanding of worship today?
I'll first start with, I love this text. It's always exciting because I love the imagery that goes along with it. So for me, it's kind of like one of those set your imagination. This is what it looks like. This is what, I don't know. I borrowed this phrase from a friend of mine. This is God's preferred future.
Mm-hmm.
This is God's preferred future. And when I think about that, and wanting to live a life that's worshipful, that means whatever my thoughts, imagination, hopes, dreams, they've got to come under alignment with God's plan. And it didn't really matter what my preferences, styles, wants, choices, wishes, dreams, hopes are. Either I'm going to find myself as a worshipful person aligning with the vision that God has, or, I'm going to just got to keep it real. I'm doing my own thing out here.
Right. Yeah.
So that Revelation 7 vision is compelling. And I think it's one of those first places as a Christian where you take up your cross and you die to yourself and say, my life is headed in this direction. Right. And it's time to get moving.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hey, and Nick, so just in your experience, or just in your not opinion, but just in your experience, why do you think worship is one of the places where we see, like, you can walk into church and be like, oh, they're all together, or you can walk into church and be like, you know what, one of these kids is not like the other one.
Yeah. I just salt and pepper kid. No, no. You know, I don't know, man. It's weird. Like culture is a strong thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, it's hard to even think as a cultural critic because we're all fish swimming in an ocean, right? So it's like weird saying, "Hey, man, you got salt water in your, you know, like I do too." So I don't know, man. It's funny. Like I think there's like a zeitgeist thing, a spirit that's moving among the people that lets you know these are people who are united, people who are together,
Mhm.
or there's something awkward or weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if our bodies just keep the score, or I think part of it might be informed by our own trauma, our own experiences. That when you walk into a room and you know you're not welcome in a place, or there's no sign. I'm sorry, I'll back up. The worship gathering is a hospitality. It's a hospitality gathering.
Yeah.
Like the most important part of it is honoring God. And how does God want us to honor him? Honor each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you walk into a place that doesn't feel warm, welcoming, hospitable, inclusive, that there's a table. One of the cool things about Jewish tradition with Passover meals, they always left an open chair. Some of it was for the prophet, but there's just this matter of hospitality. There's an open chair and a space of expectancy.
Mm.
And man, I've served at churches in the past and attended churches in the past where there was a legit lack of hospitality. We were
Yeah.
not thinking about who else was coming.
Yeah.
There was no open corner spot on the pew for the other person because that's my corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So church kind of gets filtered through my wants, wishes, hopes, dreams, aims. And that starts showing up when the visitors start showing up and be like, well, nobody was thinking about me.
Yeah.
This place was not a space for me.
Yeah.
Man.
And that's, I just got finished doing a witness practice.
You're
and
in practice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
doing that
Practice
right
in a way.
now.
And
Yeah.
part of that was about radical hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
Hospitality when you're
Yeah.
trying to, bring people in
Oh, yeah.
to even share the gospel. So when you brought up that, you truly have to have a culture of hospitality.
Yeah.
Man, it's interesting to me that you say that, because as you're talking about kind of preparing a place and being hospitable, it also says in scripture that God inhabits the praises of his people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And so if he's got this preferred future when it comes to worship that we're supposed to be ushering in, bringing in the kingdom, and we're only doing it one way, not towards that preferred future,
Yeah.
then are we really even being hospitable to the Lord?
Ooh.
Bro.
You know?
And
Yes, bro.
that's what you feel. I think that's what you said, because there's not a space at the pew.
There's no spirit in this
Yeah.
mess. There's no,
Yeah.
okay, dude, it's crazy. Like, I don't know if it's Amos. I got to remember it, but it's one of the minor prophets in the Old Testament where it basically says, I'm sick of your singing. I'm sick of your scripture reading
Yeah.
and your praying and you're passing the communion trays and making clanking noises because you're inhospitable people.
Yeah.
Right.
Your offering goes before me and it's not a sweet smelling savor. It's a stank. It's rancor.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not hating. I'm trying not to hate. I'm trying to be cool. Man, I've been in places where there was an odor, not an aroma.
Right. But that's kind of what you were saying about having a life of worship.
Yeah.
It's not just on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
every day you're trying to align your wants and wishes and desires with the Lord's.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's a holy smoke thing. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
real. Like I joke about like the smoke machines at church and stuff like that a lot. But like, it's a holy smoke. And if you ain't been stacking wood
Mm-hmm.
and stacking stones Monday through Saturday with the way you engage culture
Mm-hmm.
and the way you live your life amongst a diverse and pluralistic culture like we have here,
Yeah.
you can best believe when you get together on Sunday and you start stacking them stones and stacking that wood, something ain't gonna be quite right.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be able
So
to
if you've
tell.
been
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you may have to edit this part, sorry. Let me back up.
Wow.
I had to self-edit. And that because I didn't want to say something you would have to edit later.
Now I want to know.
Won't work for me.
If you had,
Oh.
listen, all I'm saying is like, if you have been an antagonistic person in the culture
Mm.
Monday through Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just turn that antagonistic off when you get to Sunday.
Yeah.
So some of that grating, pushing against stuff shows up in how you plan your services, what's included in your services, who can be a part of your services, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have an anti-inclusive, anti-diversity agenda Monday through Saturday and then just flip the switch and become inclusive, diverse, warm, welcoming, and hospitable on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Something rings false about that. And I think people who are visiting churches they can smell it. They get out the parking lot and they just know it ain't right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that would be the death of many churches, and maybe that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Whew. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
All fiery.
No, but I mean, you're talking about us being consistent followers, worshipers of the Lord. And if it's not consistent, then it's not going to be true just because we gathered together. And so, it makes sense.
There isn't some truth switch that just turns on.
Right. Just bling. Oh, walk into the door and like, hey.
Exactly.
Hallelujah. I mean, we don't just do that.
Yeah.
Pastor friend of mine says that when we're really worshiping, it takes away the illusion that this life's about me.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so but if I'm not, then I come into worship and I'm super critical. I'm going, where's that song? Where's my song? You know, why are they singing that song that way? All that stuff starts to come out because I'm looking at worship through a filter of what I think I'm supposed to receive, as opposed to what God prefers or God wants.
Yeah. It's worship is a giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Worship is an offering. And when we enter into the space thinking about what I didn't get the way I wish it had been, why they let her sing the song when she normally sings the song, and why he up there playing today. You know, he don't even play guitar that good.
Why you talk about me like
no, Tquan is a killer.
This is an intervention.
I want my game to be like your game. Tquan knows every chord in the book. And I'm like, how do I make an F sharp minor 7? I don't know. My hands be broke on Sundays. Oh, goodness.
So it sounds like we're saying that multi-ethnic worship forms us spiritually in ways that monocultural worship cannot.
Yeah, I would say like worship is formative. Every part of the worship experience, our attitude toward it is formed by it. Like, who's going to be there, who's included, who's allowed, all of those things. All of those ideations don't get formed just by Sunday experiences. Those are formed by our cultural experiences before we get to Sunday. So a lot of what we see and what shows up as dysfunction or lack of hospitality in our Sunday gatherings was formed Monday through Saturday, not just on Sunday. The formation, God's preferred future. And this is why I think the Revelation 7 imagery and vision is so powerful. That if I'm fixing my eyes on the vision that God is painting for what he wants the future to look like, then it begins the first step of me stripping myself of my own vision, stripping my own self of my own imagination. It's like the Philippians 2 thing where Jesus, who is in fact God himself, gives up his rights. He gives up his thoughts, feelings, power for something. And if we're going to become like Jesus, be like Jesus, then we have to take on the same policies, the same ideation, imagination to say, it's not my rights when I get to church. It's not my vision when I get to church. It's not my outcomes when I get to church. It's not my preferences. It's God's. And seeking alignment around that is the first place where we pick up our cross and die. It's the first place where we really understand what to offer up or give up really is. And then the coolest part of it is, I don't know if I say every time, but it feels like every time I give up expectation, every time I'm called to sing a song in a key I don't want to sing it in, or play a song that I don't really particularly love myself. As worship pastor, it happens all the time.
Sure does.
If I was playing in my worship service, man, it'd be so good. But I'm planning services for thousands of people. Not one person. So all of that, I think, is part of the formation journey that says, I am giving up, I am offering up, I am emptying myself. How about this? The times when I feel most filled are the times when I have to empty myself the most.
Wow.
And that's how I become more like Jesus, or have the fullness of Christ being formed in me. It's like the bottle of ketchup. You turn it upside down, smack it, and get everything out of it before you can fill anything up with it. So, and I think that's what the worship attitude and response and worship leading is about in some ways, is that we come here to empty ourselves, to be filled with something else. And our culture is obviously telling us, fill yourself up with yourself. In fact, you should fill yourself. So Yeah. It's a very worship is antithetical to the normative culture
Yeah.
outside of us. So
And,
And
we're in such a consumer era where a consumer age where, you know, people will tell you, hey, we're just church shopping. Like I hear that. I
yeah.
hear that so much.
church hopping.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We've just been trying out a couple of churches. I'm like, what do you mean trying out a couple of churches? I get it, but you know.
Yeah, we got some serial monogamous Christians out here.
Yeah.
But I like what you said about the emptying the times you felt the most filled is when you empty.
Yeah.
And I relate to that because, you know, as I started attending this church, a lot of the music I had never heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
To this day, some songs that show up on my Planet Center, I'm like, I got to listen to them. And then I listen to them, I'm like, oh. Yeah. But then I get out of myself and dive into the lyrics, find what it aligns biblically. And I'm like, you know what? This is blessing me.
Yeah.
So I want to share in that, rejoicing and just in my understanding and being closer. And so that's just a real thing. Like I was glad you said that.
Hey, bro, for real. Last night, someone came up to me and said, you know, we haven't done this song in such a long time, and it's such a good song. And, you know, worship pastor me is like, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Could you send me a YouTube link so I can listen to that?
Yeah.
Because normally people won't do it. So I know I'm off the hook. Sent me the message immediately.
I'm ready.
No. And then crazy thing is, and like I said, I was ready to be dismissive. My default position is nah. But bro, I listened to it and I was like, this is going to serve people at this church.
Yeah.
Right. This is going to speak to somebody's heart. It served this church before I was worship pastor here.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, well, here you go.
Yeah.
We're going to give up doing what I want to do. I'm going to augment the plan. I'm going to change things. I'm going to receive something that I wasn't expecting. And at the end of the day, God's going to be glorified because I became second. He became first. God's going to be glorified because we're going to do something that serves somebody else, not serve myself. And it's not a pat on the back because I'm telling you, I failed this 99 times out of 100. But yesterday was a good day.
So worship is formation. It's our identity. It shapes that. And when we worship across cultures, we're practicing reconciliation in real time. And moving on to the next part, worship is never culturally neutral, which I think is important to remember. Every tradition brings its own rhythm, sound, and story. So Nic, you lead worship in a multi-ethnic congregation. So let's explore that. What cultural expressions have shaped your worship leadership the most?
Well, first, I guess, like I said, I grew up in Georgia. I grew up in a very different space than I serve in now. My church is kind of like traditional Black church, except for a cappella because of the Church of Christ background. So even then, my experiences were very different than my peers. And that, you know, they got great saxophone player at their church. I play saxophone, but I can't play at my church. So my experience was very different, but there were some parts of it that are very much the same. Great services, spirit-filled, people expressing their hearts and emotions openly, genuinely. Services were long services. But like just a family. It was almost like it was literally a family environment that just happened to be church service. And then, you know, came out to Texas to go to college, 17, experienced a very different culture here in Texas. Same kind of context, Black church, but way more open, way more, I would say liberal, but I don't mean liberal as in not anti-biblical, liberal as in free, like the real word, liberal. And there was more freedom than I've experienced in my life. So that was kind of opening doors for me. And then I transferred from that college, Southwestern Christian College in Terrell, and I transferred over to ACU. Very different worship culture. And I went to a multi-ethnic church. It was the first time I'd ever been to a multi-ethnic church as a member. I always visited a military church in my hometown. And it was a kind of like Filipino, Black, Asian, Chinese. I mean, everybody from everywhere. And I always loved going to that church. Best potlucks. And I loved going to their VBS because it was just fun play. It wasn't like teaching. Came out to school at ACU. Gary, I ain't know a single song in chapel. I ain't know a single song. Not one. I knew Hard Fighting Soldier and they sang it wrong. Listen. I'm just saying. I have a little supremacist views in there too. Like, no, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it, my way is the right way and your way is wrong. But like, literally, like, it was so disorienting to me that I quit going to chapel.
Yeah.
I almost got kicked out of school. I got put on probation because I didn't go to chapel because the experience of being at that college, and I love my ACU experience. It was just so foreign to me
Yeah.
that there was no place where I felt spiritually nourished in that space. I did enjoy some of the speakers because I like living in my brain sometimes, but most of the time, the worship time was so foreign and disconnected, it didn't work for me. And experientially, it was fine. We got 4,000 people singing in a big old stadium, Moody Coliseum. That's a visceral experience that I appreciated, but I didn't know any of the songs, so I couldn't participate.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that sucked for me.
Yeah.
Going to church, I was at Menda Street under Dr. Tony Roach, and it was the first multi-ethnic church I'd ever been to. And multi-ethnic in this way that it was a black pastor as the lead guy and a plurality of elders from Latino and white and black. And I was just blown away. So seeing that and experiencing that was probably the most formative thing that I had going for me in college. And I think that experience for that 1 year at that church kind of, I don't know how God does what he does, but kind of like just connected all the wires and stuff for me. And then from that time on, 21, or I was 20, I guess still. I was 21. I've been in multi-ethnic, multicultural, predominantly white culture spaces ever since.
How do you, and this, I'm sure this is something that you're intentional about, but how do you make it where not one style of worship is the default? How do you communicate that?
I think part of it is just, like all art is filtered through the artist, right?
Okay.
I want to fully show up as myself, to be my whole self when I come to a place. So it doesn't matter if we're singing Rachmaninoff, Tchaikovsky, what's her name? Oh gosh, I love her. I forgot her name now. Babby Mason. It doesn't matter who the artist is. It's going to come through me. So I'm going to bring my full self to the space. And on my teams, as I'm building out teams, I want people of diverse backgrounds and experiences to be on my teams. Because we at the Hills, like we usually do 5 songs a Sunday. I try to sing 2 max because I want worship to be filtered through the experiences, the lived experiences of other people on the team. And I don't know, go back and look at the broadcast on YouTube. You can see it's changed a lot in the last 9 months. I tried not to change anything the first 6 months, but I couldn't help myself.
Can't help yourself.
I couldn't help myself. But like the goal is our human experiences are a gift from God. And to exclude those or not include those in our interpretive lens is to say, maybe God was wrong.
Wow.
Like in some way by excluding others and excluding some perspectives, that is, in a way, to me, it seems like it impugns God. To say God made this person wrong, or God made this expression wrong, or God made this particular backstory not as good as my backstory. So let me suppress that and elevate mine. And that's all part of spiritual formation too, because the kids who are watching are being told a story tacitly or passively. There's an implicit story being told about who belongs, who's welcome, who has something of value to offer up as well. So
how do you encourage I'm sorry, Jen.
No, I was just saying, okay.
How do you encourage your leaders, to be full of them, to have themselves shown through that? Because that's not easy, especially if you're entering in a space where this music may not be familiar to me. And so it goes away from, okay, is this just karaoke? Or am I just trying? And so it get on the stages that we sometimes find ourselves on. It's really hard because it is a platform and you want it to be so good and perfect and all those technical things. But then how do you free someone to be like, look, I need you to worship. I need you to bring all of your stuff that comes with you. I don't want you to sound like this person. You don't have to sound like Phil Wickham when you get up there and sing this song. You need to sound like Tquan Moore.
Yes, sir.
You know,
that's if you are Tquan Moore.
That's right.
It's only one. It's only one.
I've been trying to play guitar like Tquan Moore. There's only one. There's one. It's one. Hands hurt. My hands are hurting right now. I'm thinking about it. My hands are hurting now.
Your body keeps the score.
Yeah, my body's.
Look, I see Nick too. He'll have his guitar and he'll just like, it's just there.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm trying to get me one.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Like for me, I think about this. I don't know if I would say that's maybe an opportunity for growth for me as a pastor, to encourage people to inhabit the space more.
Okay.
I tend towards negation more than encouragement sometimes, because it is a platform. I almost always try to say platform, not stage, number one. Because stage, the word implies something, right? So I always try to say platform. Platform is about elevating something of importance to elevate something even bigger, right? Someone, not something, someone bigger. So I would probably say I don't necessarily encourage people in the way that I should to inhabit the space. I do try to tell people, don't perform, be your real self.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably my way of doing it.
Yeah.
Be your real self. The way you worshiped in your car on the way here, be that person.
Right.
Or the way you worshiped in the shower last night as you were preparing for Sunday, be that person in front of us.
Yeah.
That's probably the way I say it, but there's probably a better way to frame it so that people will know they can bring their whole selves.
Yeah.
And I think age and experience.
Yeah.
Like there's some people who are already on our teams who they're unashamedly who they are. But I think some of the younger ones probably could use a little bit more encouragement, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. In the sense that, especially if you're coming into a big spotlighted place like the Hills, where there has been an established way of doing things, even if it hasn't been told to you, you've seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're like, oh, that's what they do. I better bring that to the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, and if bringing that to the table means sounding like that, not like myself, then I'm going to work on that. And many of us do.
Yeah.
Like there's many of us who can jump from one genre to the next genre because, man, we know how that genre sounds. But if you're just going to say, hey, sing it as if no one else is listening but yourself, or like how you would like, how your heart would like to express it, it may come out differently. And so that I do believe that has to be encouraged.
That's part of the stage thing too. Like when you think of it as a stage, not a platform, a stage is for someone to put on a character and to perform. And worship is the complete opposite of that. Worship is to strip yourself of the ego, strip yourself of the public persona and character you want people to think about you, and to just offer up. I mean, there was a book I had when I was in college called The Naked Voice. And dude, my voice teacher, like, just destroyed me. Like, in the best way. In the best way, though. Like, kind of like took the ego, shredded the paper that I had for that, took all the historical and cultural background, shredded the paper for that. I had nothing in my hand to hold except for my naked voice. That's all I had. And he basically told me, I know that you can. I used to walk around when I was a kid. I loved the radio. So I used to imitate Michael Jackson, James Ingram. If you were a singer, I could just pretty much imitate your voice. And it wasn't until he told me, I would love to hear Nic Dunbar sing. I was like, oh, snap, Joe. What do I sound like? And I had no idea what my own voice was. And that's kind of the way I feel with some of the stuff I'm observing in the last 9 months, that there's a particular type or sound or way to show up. And I'm trying to pastorally address it, speaking to it lovingly, kindly, and encouraging other people to be their whole selves. And you don't need to be a copycat of somebody who once was or somebody who is in the organization, something like that. The best thing you can offer to God is yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you get and so I think a lot of the fear is you don't want to disrupt the body.
No, disruption is good.
And that's what I'm trying to, I would love for.
Gary, you're asking all my questions. That's
I'm
nice.
sorry, man.
That's good. That's great.
I'm sorry.
No, we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. Man. We got here now. But I think that's a lot. Like the body has been I'm not saying stagnant. What I'm saying is so used to one thing. And then when little times we get that taste of something different, they're like, whew, I felt that.
Yeah.
Because it is people that are now saying, look, when I say I throw up my hands and praise you again and again, I'm telling you, I live this.
Yeah.
Because there were times where all I had was a hallelujah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
you're saying it in there, you're singing it. You're not just
Mhm.
trying to stick to a melody. You are professing and sharing and witnessing what God has done. And that brings up those kind of diverse voices
Mm.
that we need. And so,
Yeah, the expression, the so we're talking about the culturally neutral cultural expression thing. Like that's kind of the big piece, man. Like everything's included. Everything's welcome.
Yeah.
All voices, all types, all expressions, everything. I don't know where the phrase comes from, but I heard it from somebody, Catholic theologian or Catholic speech I was listening to. Dude says, all is gift. Everything is grace. All is good. And like when we live from that cultural space that God delights in everybody and everything he's ever made, like all your expressions and the way you roll your eyes, the way you lift your hands, the way you sigh, the way you fall to your knees, all of those expressions from all the different cultures, your stoicism, your quiet piety, everything is welcome. All pieces are engaged and involved, and all of it gets stacked on that altar, and it goes up before God as a sweet smelling savor. Yeah.
And when every culture's worship is honored, that dignity comes up. Everybody feels like they can participate. Belonging rises up, and unity becomes something people feel and not just hear about. And I think we all know music is powerful, and it creates that emotional memory that our bodies even hold, and it builds identity, and it can bridge cultures in ways sermons sometimes can't. So, Nic, what have you learned about the power of shared music to unite people from different backgrounds?
Man, that's a big question.
And can you share a moment when that really created unexpected unity?
It's funny. Gratitude is that song.
yeah.
Like I kind of being where I am and where I come from and stuff like that. I move between different spaces all the time. I'm in black spaces one weekend or white spaces another weekend. Now it's very much I live in the white space, but I'm visiting the black space now these days. What's crazy to me is there are certain songs or certain expressions that are just same, matchy match. The minute we get to that, so I throw up my hands and praise you again, bro, it's crazy. Just to see, I've very rarely had experiences where 100% of the people were doing the same thing. But like gratitude, throw up my hands. It's like people are waiting after all the come on my souls so they can get to that last chorus and like 100 of 100. Hands
that's
up.
cool.
You know that worship spot.
Yeah.
It's the hands up, chins up, nose up. I can see them boogers in your nose.
Yeah.
It's like that. Everybody's in this thing. And Howard Thurman, man, I love Dr. Thurman says that we're looking for a unit of experience. We're all looking for this experience where I feel the most connection, not only connection with the divine, this vertical integration, but this horizontal. We want all things to be one. It's deep in our hearts. We just want everything to be one. That's why I mentioned about the World Cup this past week.
Yes.
Soccer is worship, y'all. I'm telling you straight up, man. I got hooked at the FC Dallas game back in 2006 when I first moved back to Texas again. I got hooked. And it was because everybody was singing the same songs. We all locked arms and we all decided to jump left 3 jumps, right 3 jumps. And we were all embodied, incarnationally doing the exact same thing. That stadium was as loud as any place I've ever been in my life. I went to a Manchester derby in Houston, Manchester United versus Manchester City. And when they started singing Blue Moon, the loudest thing, like 40,000 people singing at the red team, of course. But just that unit of experience they were having was forming them. I've hugged more men in the last 20 something days than I've hugged in about 20 years.
Because of soccer? Wow.
Yeah,
I was down at, I can't say where I was. I was down at a place in Fort Worth and watching the game. And behind me, I guess Sri Lankan, Pakistani, Bangladesh. To my side, to my left side, Laotian, Vietnamese, possibly Cambodian, somewhere there. In front of me, a bunch of white guys, England, Wales, Scotland, who knows? I don't know where they're from. behind me, Nigerian Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it turned into like this big old bro hug sesh. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. Why can't we do this at church?
Yeah.
Like people complain about a hug and a howdy at church. Man, you know you're going to be hugging howdying forever in heaven?
Right.
Come on, man. So I don't know. I just think there's something I'm getting, and this is what stinks about it for me. My lament about this is I can experience this type of connection and unity and forward altogether motion outside of the church that I can't experience in the church sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there are too many things we are holding on too tightly about culture and worship and style and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. When you're talking about I think it was Manchester game or whatever.
Yeah.
And y'all were singing together. You said all of us but the red team.
Yeah.
And I think that's where many of us live, where some of us are doing one thing, but we see the other culture or the other idea or the other genre as the other team.
That's true.
And we're not the other team.
No.
True.
You know, we're all wearing the same jerseys, but we're like, I don't like the way you wear yours. I don't like how you styled yours or something. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we find ourselves drawing the dividing line.
Bro, my Facebook algorithm is wild over the last 6 weeks. It's so wild. I got these dudes who I love and respect who are just anti everything that I'm pro.
Oh,
and I'm like, you're still my brother. I still look at you as being my brother, like my brother. And they just think completely opposite about me.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine. It's not up to you to love me. It's up for me to love you. You love me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I felt like that too watching the World Cup because I was in Sundance Square just around so many people, and we were watching the USA game, and we're in the rain.
Yeah, bro,
watching it, and it was just, and I'm looking around, and I was like, I bet a lot of these people don't think like I do. Like I don't know how many of them were Christian or non-Christian. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we disagreed on politics or all kind of things. Yeah. But during that time and in that atmosphere, we were all together. Whatever the song they were singing, "Take Me Home,
Country Road." Take me home to.
I'm over there singing like I know it.
West Virginia.
Oh my goodness.
But you too, I felt a little guilty about that not being sometimes the experiences that we have in church. Yeah. Because I can sometimes I'm guilty of this. I'll feel myself singing along the words or just reading them on the screen, but I'm not connected because I'm in my posture of, man, why we gotta sing this one more time?
Right.
And we do this every, you know.
Yeah.
What you raise up there, Gary, though, is we talk a lot about what happens on the platform out. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But if we're really gonna do this well, there is some instruction, some teaching, something that the body needs to know.
Yeah.
So that when we all arrive together, we're not looking at the platform to do something about me. Like we all come to it looking for, how can I be fed? What's going to be there for me? What's there for my kids? And I'm not saying that those are bad questions, but they're not primary questions. They're not the first ones. And so when we come with that, then, and it's not like we ordered it, then we got problems, you know, and then we start talking to management and et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we're not helping the body understand what God's preferred future of worship is, then I would only expect to receive what we've received.
Yeah.
That's true. Like,
you know,
positive instruction. I mean, that is pastoral care and discipleship, right?
Yeah. Right.
So maybe taking a more assertive, forward-facing, or I think of like worship leading as cruise directing. I got this from Brandon Scott Thomas from Zoe Group. And he says, you're never not leading, number one. You're never not leading. You're always leading. Even on Sundays when you're not there, you're showing up to church on time tells the rest of the church you should show up on time.
Oh,
like for real.
Amen.
But this, when you show up expectant, you tell other people they should show up expectant. And sometimes, J.R. Greer says this too, like, oftentimes the minister falls into the deed part of the ministry, but it's a word and deed ministry.
Okay.
And, you know, at the risk of being a worship pastor who preaches, you know, because, you know, people like shut up and sing. shut up and dribble. You know, there's a real shut up and dribble culture sometimes with worship teams. But there is sometimes where being direct, being specific, being instructional and directive is important. Because like worship leading is sometimes cruise directing. The chocolate buffet is at midnight, everyone. That kind of thing like that.
Yum.
Because telling people what to expect and what they should, or what options or invitations, excuse me. Sorry, that's the word. The word is offering invitation as to what you should do and how you might engage actually might lead to better outcomes.
Yeah.
But I don't think about that very often as far as invitation goes.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, I don't want to put you on the spot. We've been putting you on the spot this whole time, actually.
That's right.
But this conversation, I feel like could kind of go into another podcast episode. And I don't know if you could come back for like a part 2 of this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because we didn't get to a lot of the things. But I don't want to not keep talking.
My bad.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't at all. No, you didn't at all. So I hope that everyone enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. I mean, it really blessed me a lot. Just the focus on intentionality, but also the formation and the identity of worship.
Hey.
Really appreciate your time.
Oh, thanks.
In the words of Teddy Riley, party's not over.
All right.
We got episode 2 coming.
Yes.
Something is wrong with me.
Jesus gonna fix it though.
Yeah. Jesus will
You're
work
made in
it.
his image. You're made in his image.
We are. Hey, until next time, thank you, Nick, Tquan,
Thanks,
everybody.
Yep.
Peace.
It's all good. Thanks for listening.
Sorry, y'all.
Why?
Sorry, man.
Nope. Yeah. Like,
No, you didn't do anything wrong.
That's what we're here for. Having a good time.
So I noticed this for more depth.